61 in Pennsylvania is a rattle trap lunch bucket, 2-lane blacktop that takes you up to and along the anthracite ridge, where 98% of the world's anthracite coal is found. And we were riding the ragtop up that road not that long ago, and riding through the slag heaps and the truck stops and some really funky diners that I won't go into. And down a hill to the right, bang to a T, where 61 has to make a left because the anthracite ridge is right in front of us. And that's in Ashland, Pennsylvania. And Ashland was a town of 15,000, 18,000 some years ago. Now not so much. And I stopped there at the traffic light. I was heading towards Centralia, which, as Lou might say, is another story altogether. And up on the hill, looking down on the town, is Whistler's mother. I couldn't believe my eyes, so I pulled up and we walked up these great masonry stairs to the top of this ridge overlooking the town. And there she is, enormous, bronze, Whistler's mother. The only three-dimensional replica of Whistler's mother in the world is in Ashland, Pennsylvania. And she's on an enormous granite pedestal, as big as this room that you're sitting in. And in 1.5 foot high letters, etched into the granite, is the word mother. And it says, "A mother is the holiest thing alive." And there's a little brass plaque, and it says, erected by the Ashland Boys Association, 1937. Heart of the Great Depression. This big bronze, Whistler's mother. Now, Whistler's mother, you know the painting, right? She's scowling. This is not a good woman. This is a wretched woman, you know, in her cane chair, scowling down at the town fiercely. I had to know what was going on with this, why the Boys Association would put up the Whistler's mother in 1937. Across the street, as fate would have it, we find the Ashland Historical Society and a man named Jim Klock, K-L-O-C-K. Jim says, "I'm a ghost in this town already. I have my plot paid for." And he's got every story, including the papier-mâché model of the statue. The Ashland Boys Association was created in the late 19th century when the mines were really flourishing in that area of the world. And more boys and men were underground at any given time of the day or night than were above ground. And they never saw their mother. And the boys needed to know that their mother was a holy vessel. And so the fathers built created the Ashland Boys Association to get these kids to understand that their mother was someone to be revered. So they had a picnic every year at what became Labor Day weekend. And every year they would have this picnic with the men and boys in their suits and ties, and they would have kind of stories and games, and they would talk about being men, and then they would go home to their mothers and their sisters and their daughters. And every year at that time, the mothers and daughters would buy their finest clothes, and they would wear them and be on the porch to greet the sons and fathers coming home from the picnic. Well, the mines started to collapse, and the boys then found work in Philadelphia. To this day, there's still a parade replicating when the boys came home after learning mummery in Philadelphia, when the Reading Railroad in the early part of the century brought home a special train with hundreds of young men who hadn't been home in years to Ashland. And the boys came home, and the Reading Railroad Company gave them torches at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night. And hundreds of these torches lit out on Main Street in Ashland, Pennsylvania. And one by one, they would go out as each boy found his mother waiting on the porch in the row homes. And to this day, that's the second largest mummers parade in the world, is Labor Day weekend in Ashland, when the boys come home to see their mothers. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.